Oh, okay. Hello, hello. Can you be my mic check? Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Good, good. All right. Having so much difficulty, like, why can't I see my own dang stream? And then I have to, like, investigate and be like, oh, my settings were set to private. Oh my gosh. There we go. Gonna set this somewhere nice. Hopefully that won't fall over. Put my phone somewhere. Now my phone's internet connection is awful because it has to be connected to Wi-Fi, but this is connected to LAN. Alright, after several technical difficulties, the stream is now up. I'm just delaying a little bit for Hachi to maybe show up, or anybody else from the FC that might see my link. How are we doing on this fine night? Are the pants off? Are we comfy? I'm in my pajamas already. 6 p.m. and I'm like, it's pajama time. Good. I thought about taking a nap today, but I'm trying to get my sleep schedule a bit on track. I stayed up so late over the weekend. I had a lot of fun though. Happy Pride, everybody. I think we're not yet in our last week of Pride, but it's fast approaching. I feel like it was just yesterday. It was June 1st. June went by real fast. Meanwhile, May lasted 5 years. At least for me. But May lasted 5 years, and then June has lasted 2 days. And I don't know what July is going to look like. I hope July passes by fast. Honestly, I'm now so hot these days that I'm just waiting until I get like an iota of coolness, but I think July is looking to be in the hundreds for most of the month. And probably August is too. We're just not allowed to have fun here. We're only allowed to crumple up and fry into shrimps on the ground. Like, I don't even know how to enjoy a pool in this weather. Gotta make sure my stream settings are still intact. This is also why I delay, because I'm like trying to make sure. Because I'll sometimes watch my own stream from my phone or computer, but if I don't make sure the volume is completely shut off, you'll hear me double echo. It's hard to enjoy the sun when the sun like hates you. Just like in the Amazing Digital Circus, the sun fucking hates you. But I have been doing a thing where I'm taking walks at night when the sun is down. But I also don't like that either because it's still way too warm. And then the mosquitoes are out. What I need to do is go at 5 a.m. in the morning. That's like the golden hour for taking walks outside. But man, am I just not up at that time. I am fast asleep. So I told myself if I can get my mornings back, I can probably go outside to walk. Otherwise, I've actually been walking inside my house, getting steps in. I do have a proud announcement. For the entire month of June so far, I have met my walking goal every single day. I haven't skipped a day. Alright, well I told myself I'd wait until 6:10 and I'd start, so it is now 6:10. So we left off at, you know, the great highlight of Heavensward, where Chiffon just kicks it in the most heroic way possible. We got to witness their little tweak to that scene with Alfino going, I think he's dead, guys. So now we've rescued Aymeric, but at what cost? But, you know, it's one of those things where we have to go, some of you may die, but it's been so many years for me that I am now desensitized to Hachifon's death, but I'm still never desensitized to Lord Edmont's reaction to it, and that to me is always the saddest thing. Honestly, this game, when it comes to surrounding Hachifon's death, they're really good at, if you know where to poke and prod at, because there'll be, I think this side quest has something to do with that. If you come back here, you can even go back to Corthus Central and visit Camp Dragonhead, and nearly most NPCs inside there, they have something to say, and none of them are taking it very well. There's a vacancy at Camp Dragonhead for a long time, and then there is, of course, this area right here where it's not truly his grave, but they set up a grave for him. And yeah, Francel can always be seen. If you visit there, he'll always come by to visit. But so now we're gonna talk to Aymeric. And he's gonna react accordingly to the events that just happened. Okay, Alfie knows. We must press on with our mission. Tataru, pray return to your duties at the Forgotten Night. Tataru's like, I don't know, Alfino, I don't feel like the Jello shots anymore. Like, I'm just too bummed. Let us go speak with Sir Aymeric. Yorva. I worry for his well-being. Also, whenever when I say Aymeric's name, it's a very American way. I'd like to pronounce that A. But there's times where his name is more actually close to Aymeric. And you can actually hear it being pronounced more that way in cutscenes, but it's just so ingrained that I call him Aymeric with A. But I feel like most Americans do. But I believe Aymeric's name is a turn on a real life name, which is Aymeric, but I don't know where Astinian's name is. Actually, somebody translated it. I think he's Steve. Like, his name is closer to Steve. So, everybody, say hello to Steve. Curse those bloody horsens and piss on their swimming round table. So, this is like the most vile language they'll probably ever... Yeah. Steve. He's Minecraft. I gotta figure out, like, or maybe it was Steph or something like that. No, we already have Stefanovan. Yeah, I'm gonna, like, totally... Because there is an actual name Estienne. That's a last name. Etienne. And then there is Estine. I'm fact-checking myself, because I remember reading about this and being like, oh god, his name, like, translated to more of an Earth-sounding name is something like Steve, and you're just sitting there like, I cannot believe... Where's the, oh my god. There's so many facts about Estinian now. I remember when his Wikipedia page used to be like 5 paragraphs. Oh, they put in a little thing on his Wikipedia page where he was originally an NPC ally during the Aerie. Yeah, it's actually just been 6.2 when the duty support was introduced. Yeah, I can't find the official translation of it, but yeah. Alfino is just Alfino. Or he just goes, He just... This is the reaction most of us are having, like, Sir Amric. Yeah, Amric's, not going to take this well.
My friends, I am in your debt.
He's like, I'm glad I'm alive.
Think nothing of it. Your wounds are healing well, I trust.
Some wounds do not heal.
That line was really raw. It's like, oh. And of course we have to have an echo flashback for everything.
The founding. The scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our own brothers and sisters. For the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it. The architects of Ishgard, King Thordan and his Knights 12, entrapped and butchered the great worm, Ratatosker, that they might partake of her eyes and thereby transcend their mortal limits. Upon learning of their treachery, Nidhogg was consumed with a murderous and justified rage. I dare say you know what followed.
The great worm slew the king and half of his knights.
Aye, but Nidhogg was subdued, and his eyes plucked from their sockets by the knights that remained. Their one mistake was to show mercy, for from his brother Hreysvelger did Nidhogg receive a new eye, thus rejuvenating his form and empowering him to embark upon an eternal quest for vengeance.
whilst Thordan's son Haldreth took one of Nidhogg's eyes and learned to wield its power in defense of his people.
Thus was the first Azure Dragoon born, and ever since that time, his honored successors have risen to drive Nidhogg from our lands whenever the worm has returned to plague us. I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well?
What do you mean?
If a man cannot atone for his sins in the course of his all-too-fleeting life, must his progeny then be held to account? Must every subsequent generation be judged as well? Thorin's betrayal of Ratatoskr was an unconscionable, unforgivable sin. Should we then, as his descendants, meekly surrender ourselves to an eternity of punishment? Nay, say I. I would not see our children sacrificed in a vain attempt to appease an implacable foe. Dragons are not like us, my son. To they who live forever, the wrongs of antiquity are as those of yesterday. No reparations shall ever suffice. This fact alone should serve as ample justification for our actions. Yet some refuse to see it as such. For men like you, who yearn to commit themselves to a nobler cause, a more compelling narrative is required.
This is your solution. This is how you protect our people. You have given us a lost cause, a death sentence. With your compelling narrative, you but doom our countrymen to give their lives for a lie.
And they do so gladly. Highborn and lowborn alike are proud to serve, to fight and die for their country.
I don't know, do you promise? Like, are they really that happy about it?
What would you say to them? What would you tell the wives who have lost their husbands? The mothers who have lost their sons? That their loved ones died for naught?
Or maybe their future grandchildren won't have to die?
Over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well.
Too bad he wasn't born evil, you piece of shit.
Do not despair, my son. Soon I shall free us from the sins of antiquity, and bring about the change you so fervently desire.
Surely leopards won't eat my face, says Thordan.
If he has spoken with others, I would have their names. Escort him to a cell and question him thoroughly.
Your Eminence.
You know, Thornton's like one of those Redditors that's like, my argument is so sound, and it's like, no, it's not. You could pick apart that argument.
Did you not? A vision of the past.
That's what I do, Elf, you know? Like, do I do anything else? I guess I cut people up with my katana.
So this is the power of the Echo. Would that it had shown you a finer moment from my past.
Eric's like, why doesn't it ever show you something like...
exercise in futility, as you saw.
When I had some really nice cake.
And his many ready rejoinders, my words deserted me. To be frank, I am embarrassed to recall it.
A friend once impressed upon me the importance of differentiating between words, deeds, and beliefs. Were he here, I suspect he would judge your father's conviction to be no more than rank, self-serving delusion.
Good words, Alfino.
Even so, I cannot help but wonder what manner of change he intends to bring about.
The Warrior of Light's like, I was just gonna say that shit, but Alfino put it better.
Well. During the battle within the vault, the Heavensward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Haurchefant was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
That wound
the
glowed
spectacle
blue.
called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture, holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have become objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls.
What does that sound like?
7 hells!
Alfino's like,
If
I
Lady
have it.
Iceheart can use her own body as a vessel for summoning, I see no reason why others could not.
Are the Heavensward truly so reckless?
Unbelievable!
As they fled, my father spoke of Azis La. Though I know not what he intends, I fear no good shall come of it. His ambitions are too great, and his minions too powerful.
I think we gotta kill this guy, Amric.
We must find the Heavensward and stop my father before it is too late.
Yeah, they set me up too well for that one. It's like, what does that sound like? A primal. What's worse than a primal? A pope. No, a pope primal. God damn it. Mr. Sauvage, Master Alfino, I, Amric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, do hereby entreat the aids of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. This is what took an entire expansion. We asked for his aid like 5,000 years ago. Our aid in preventing whatever it is the Archbishop intends. Come on, can we just say the word primal? Your aid in bringing him to justice. Too much blood has been spilled for the lies he perpetuated. No more. I shall pursue him to the end of the world if I must. You promise? Amaric's like, I think we're gonna have to kill my father, guys. And we're like, oh man. I thank you, Yorva. I have heard many men take such pledges, but you are no man. You speak in earnest. Much has changed since our order's founding. We've lost 90% of our members, but our duty to combat the primal threat has not. If the Archbishop and the Heavensward are guilty of the crime of summoning, then Yorva and I will stop them. You know, it's around this part where you're like, oh yeah, the Scions are like the primal police. They're like, anybody summons a primal, we're coming after you. Would that I could join you in pursuit, but alas, my father's absence has thrown our government into chaos. We are having government shutdown number 3 or something. Also considering I think all of your ribs are broken, but ever since the founding of our nation, there has been an archbishop to serve as a guiding light for the masses. A for stability to counterbalance the high house's ceaseless maneuvering. That's a light way of putting it. Convincing the people to recognize the truth of our origins would have been difficult even without, or even with my father's support. I don't know, I think this is better, honestly. The road ahead is that much more fraught with peril without it. Yet walk it we must, for unity is more vital to our survival than ever. After all, Nidhogg's death did not mark the cessation of the Dravanian hostilities. Amaric's looking at Astidian like, I know you said the war is over, but the war is not over just because you said so. Far from it. We will have great need of each other in the days to come. You may ever count on my lance, Sir Aymeric, because we are such good friends, and I think we are very good friends. You're like my best friend. To my dying breath, I shall defend Ishgard from the from the horde. And those whores, those lemon-stealing whores. If I may, Lord Commander, I would like to assist the Scions in their search for the Archbishop. She's like, well, one of us has gotta go. Yorva, Master Alfino, pray attend me outside. Very well. With me, Yorva. I believe we have much to discuss. Let's just leave Aymeric and Estinian alone to do whatever, to do work. They got a lot of work to do. Watch as they're like, yeah, Estinian and Aymeric are alone, and then you enter back in and they really are just like, okay, so how do we tell people, like, how do we make sure there's no insurrections? It's like Warrior of Light bursts is like, aha, I knew you two were having sex, and Aymeric's just reading a book there, and he's like, oh, well, I would have put down my book. Where could they be headed? And what does Ozzy's Law have to do with it? Yorva's over here like, can anybody translate what Ozzy's Law is? The Soleil was eastward bound, so I sent word to Camp Cloudtop on the off chance the airship passed by. Sure enough, Lady Lionette, Laniette? I always have a hard time with her name. Laniette informed me that it has been cited for her scouts. It doesn't help that I get severe dyslexia when it comes to unknown words. Then the Archbishop is somewhere in the Sea of Clouds. Or was, not long ago. The airship has not been seen since it disappeared into the northern reaches near the Blue Window. Do you remember something that's kind of near there? I don't. Alas, because the region is firmly held by the Vanu Vanu and not easily accessible from Camp Cloudtop, House Halinar has yet to establish a foothold. We will need not only an airship, but a captain bold enough to risk the beastman's wrath. Alfino's like, an airship captain, you say? We know exactly only one of those. I think we both know the perfect candidate. Yorva, let's pay a visit to Master Garland at the Sky Steel Manufactory. I like that we volunteer Sid for a lot of shit. Knowing full well he's not going to say no to us. I see. Then I will take my leave for now. There are other matters which require my attention. She's like, I can't leave Aymeric and Estinian alone. She's like, I'm not gonna stop them because of whatever they got going on. I gotta stop them because they might do something stupid. Oh yeah, I did look it up. I think Estinian's name is kind of derivative from like Etienne, which is another way of saying Stephen. So, not exactly Steve, but you know, Steven. And then there's Stefanovin right here. I gotta do the quest line with this guy at some point, so we're probably gonna do Mashia's quest line. This is really good. A double Steve. This guy's just Steph. Estinian is Steven. He's Steven Universe. Hey, Sid. He's kind of nervous. He's like, okay. Ah, the dastardly duo. What mischief have you two been getting up to lately? About that, we're dragging you into it. Oh, wait. Sid's like, hey, how's it going? They're like, our friend's dead. And he's like, okay. You haven't heard, have you? I hardly know where to start. You're gonna traumatize this poor boy all over again. Yorva's like, I'll say it. Sid's like, oh man. Put my foot in my mouth. He was a good man. Sid, have you ever heard of Ozzy's Law? The Archbishop spoke of it before he fled. No, but it's probably some source of phenomenal cosmic power that's key to his plan. Why did they ever let Sid go in this? He needs to be part of the central plotline all the fucking time. Like, I miss this. This is what Dawn Trail was missing, was just Sid being there, stating the obvious. From what he told Yorva, the Ascians tried to tempt him as they tempted Gaius with the ultimate weapon. Even if he spoke true about playing along, I can see him attempting to seize it. He sits like very savvy. He's like, they all say that they're gonna be different. As if we needed another reason to pursue him. Well, I'm convinced. The Enterprise is at your disposal. Come to the airship landing when you're ready to depart. So it's like, I'm always gonna say yes, guys. It's just as well. After pulling you out of the fire these last few times, I reckon I was due to deliver you into it. Sid, we always do that at least once every episode of this, you know? Sid's over there like, I'm kind of a little bit more of a rescue guy, and we're like, yeah, we need you to, like, do the opposite of a rescue. Into the fire it is. Or, into the fire, is it? In that case, I should inform Tataru of our plans. Pray go on ahead to the airship landing. I shall join you anon. He goes in, he's like, Tataru, we've decided to enter hell, and Tataru's like, is that a different kind of hell than what we're already in, or... Me and the boys have been cracking open a cold one, and I've also been hard at work preparing for our flight, and I'm pleased to say we're ready to depart. Wow, really? It took me like 30 seconds to walk over here. Like, that was really fast. That is, as soon as a certain... And again, like, it took Alfina like 30 seconds to contact... I'm gonna just imagine like maybe a couple hours have passed. Pray forgive my lateness by 30 seconds. Tataru and I had much to discuss in 30 seconds. We still have no news of the missing scions. They're kind of hard to find. But she assures me that Urianger and Riol are... Oh, I forgot that Riol is also like, hey, I'm gonna help out. Pursuing promising leads. If you can't remember Riol, he was a bit character at first, during the Titan quest line. He was part of the company of heroes that had vanquished Titan before, like 5 years ago or something? I don't know. And, he's got an eye patch and everything. He's like a secret agent specialist. Anyways, he came back in the Realm Reborn plot to kind of join up with the Scions under the Crystal Braves, and now he's like, I like the Scions a lot, I'm going to, you know, help them out. Actually, no, am I thinking of a different guy? No, Riol is definitely the guy that was part of the Titan quest line, right? Yeah, so Riol kind of became like another Scion member. Come, we can continue the discussion aboard the Enterprise. We have spent Too many 30 seconds out here. We're running late. Riol to this day still operates under the Scions, you know. He's just really cool. For somebody who doesn't get too much screen time, he's just always there in the background. The others are waiting for you aboard the Enterprise, Yorva. Shall we get going? Yeah, I guess so.
To the northern reaches of the Sea of Clouds, where countless isles yet remained uncharted. In search of a mysterious land known as Azizlar, and the unmasked villain who sought to claim its secrets. Oblivious to the new threat which followed in their wake, they came.
Okay. From here, Camp Cloudtop looks rather far. I mean, we are on floating pieces of rock. Be on your guard, Yorva. He's like, I'm afraid of heights now. Oh, that airship is getting in the way of my camera, Alf, you know? The Vanu could be anywhere, even watching us as we speak. I mean, like, right over there? Like, I'm pretty sure we can see their outposts from here. Assuming the Soleil is here, I doubt she will come to us. I don't know, maybe if we ask nicely? We should begin searching the Isles in earnest. Of course, we must remain vigilant for the Vanu scouts as well. I would rather avoid needless bloodshed. They're so big and fluffy, and we don't want to fight them. They are friend-shaped. What do you guys have to say? We'll keep the Enterprise here for now, but if you need to head back to Ishgard, you can use the Standard to signal for an Ironworks airship. How convenient. Don't worry, we charted a route safe enough for others to fly, unless that Primal shows up. But what are the odds of that? Sid, you fucking cursed us all with that one damn sentence. He's like, oh, I didn't forget about the flying whale, and Yorva's like, oh, I did. And I think everybody else did. I think even Amric did. Because he sent us out here, and he had the report from Watchafon on his desk, and he completely forgot about the fucking whale. To be fair, he's gone through a lot of trauma lately, so... The Enterprise is ready to fly at a moment's notice. Just come running if you run afoul of something you can't handle. Just run and there's like a sea of birdmen chasing me. I'm like, ah. They're like, oh my god. Can I like get on the ship? No. Not allowed. We'll stay in touch with your Temple Knight friend. Don't you worry. Who? Are you talking about Amric? He's like... Or maybe he's talking about the guys below. Anyways. You know, I still haven't done my samurai quest. I could do number 56 and 58. But considering that I don't think they're locking any of my movesets behind the quests, I can wait. See, Bismarck, I think, is level 57, so I think I'm just, oh wait, I missed it. It was over here. I'm just one level above the Bismarck fight, because I believe Bismarck is fought at level 57. Gods, look at them. So many aisles. So many places to hide. Kind of like how I feel when I want to go off and cry, and Yorva's like, alright, let's keep the teenage eggs to a minimum. No, we must not lose hope. He is out there, Yorva, and we will find him. I know he's like, look, like, he could be hiding anywhere, but I'm like, I don't know, Alf, you know, that was a really big airship. Like, how hard is it? Okay, I think you have to stand here, and you have to do lookout? Should have done / lookout, but sometimes this could be faster. I don't have a keyboard on me right now, so... You search the skies for the Soleil, but see nothing resembling the missing airship. I mean, yeah, like, you could possibly hide it behind one of these islands, but... Like, all you have to do is just kind of move around and... There's an instance here. In a few moments, Alfino, the sun will rise. Alfino's like, I don't understand that reference. And she's like, oh my god. Gen Z kids don't know. Mayhap, this effort was doomed to failure. Alfino, we have gone exactly 200 feet. He's just like, I give up already. Begs mercy of Netherlings. Does not fight. Does not wish to die. That's a nice poem. Was that Ivanu being attacked? But by whom? We should be the only ones up here. Over there. Imperial troops? What a twist! Ishgardians, seize them! They'll know where the Archbishop is. Of course. The enemy of my enemy is also my enemy. We've no choice. With me, Yorva. Protect the Vanu. Lord Van Hydrus, oh yeah. Regula Van Hydrus. I like that Alfino's like, you mean the Lord Van Hydrus? Regula Van Hydrus? And we're like, who? Am I supposed to know who that is?
Taliak, protect me!
Why isn't people oh. My attacks aren't really hitting this guy. I'm like, why isn't nobody dying? There we go. That should take care of that problem. Yeah, so the Empire is here. Sid also cursed us with that. He invoked Bismarck. So the Garleans are like, they'll know where the Archbishop is. Get him! Oh god, protect the baby. You stay away from my fluffy bird friend. Let's see, now get this guy. Oh my god. Get away from that guy. Hello, new friend. And so we live to fight another day against Garleans. So this is the plot where you're like, oh, of course there's gotta be more Garleans. Actually, remember when Lord Lolorito was talking about the fact that the Garleans were making a huge airship, but they didn't know where it was? Yeah, I think we're about to find out where that airship went. Netherlings saved Lonu Vanu from certain death. Showers Netherlings with thanks like summer squall. Yorva's like, I like your funny words. Lonu Vanu knows not what the wind bears Netherlings to Cloudsea, but warmly welcomes them. Shows gratitude where gratitude is due. Yorva's like, this is my new best friend. Lonu Vanu owes much and more to Netherlings. As saviors, as heroes, Zundu welcomes you. To village we go. To north. Come, come. So the Garleans were searching for the Archbishop and believed that the Vanu Vanu knew something about his whereabouts. Methods notwithstanding, they may have the right of it. I conclude that we should accept Lonu Vanu's offer of hospitality and visit his village. Not like we're just gonna leave Sid behind back down there. Oh, of course this guy takes issue. Yeah, we have to go back down and tell Sid like, hey, just to let you know the Empire is here, and he's just like, okay. Just like everywhere he goes, he's like, why can I not get rid of the Empire? It's just always here. Always. Yeah, and Alfina's over there still not explaining Regula Van Hydrus. Yorva's like, I'm sorry, I don't read the newspaper, like, am I supposed to know who that is at all? Like... And Alfina was like, no time to talk, we have to go find this village. It's like, I guess that wasn't important information to know. Leave me alone, I hate you, little creepy bug thing. Those things actually, like, there's other enemies that kind of look like them, but it's like, like... I don't have arachnophobia, I just have creepy crawly phobia. I want to believe Lonu Vanu is sincere in his intentions. I mean, he doesn't look threatening. Nevertheless, keep your eyes open, Yorva. This could be a trap. They're too fluffy. Like breeze winds leaves to rest, come and lay down your burdens. Okay. Yorva's like, you mean my pack? Lonu Vanu throws wide arms in greeting. Behold! Okazundu. We have a joke. Actually, I think that was on the other show. It's Okazundu. Okazundu. A far warmer welcome than the one you received from the Vundu, I think. Yeah, because they're not the Vundu. Ha! Vundu bluster and blow hither and yon, sound and fury like aimless gale. What unseen lightning begets such thunderous report? Oh, you can kind of hear it. It sounds like we're like, what are we talking about? There's a cannon fire somewhere. There you are. Did you see it? See what? It's that damned flying whale again! I accidentally mentioned it and I summoned it, sorry. The Imperials are after it. Also, did you know there's Imperials here? Yeah, Sid, we already dealt with them. He's like, God damn it. Where? The whites. Oh. I like... He's wounded. I like the Imperials got here, like, we gotta look for the Archbishop, and then there's just this whale, and they're like, after it! And they just want to shoot at it. Like, they get so distracted. Like, do you know... Oh, he just had a snack. Munch munch. By the 12! Did the beast just eat that island? Yeah, that's how... Right? Oh, insatiable white, oh, devourer of worlds, why must you torment us? That was my favorite little piece of rock. Ah! Lonu Vanu wastes no more words on his unfathomable deeds. Come, Netherlings, come and break works with Chief of Zundu. It'll take a lot more than Imperial cannons to bring that beast down. They're still willing to try, Sid. When you described it as a flying feathered whale, I naturally assumed you'd taken some liberties. Especially when you said that it was a Wendy's made out of Frosties. I really didn't believe that part. Yeah, everybody's like, I don't think that's real. And then we get out here and it's like, it's fucking real. But I like that the Imperial Garleans get so fucking distracted they have to go after the damn whale. They're just like, hold on, forget about the Archbishop for a minute. We need to shoot that thing down. They're like, can you imagine if we like taxidermied that thing and put it up in the Empire? It would look so cool. With wisdom deep as nethers and eyes clear as cloudless blue, Sonu Vanu speaks for Zundu. Hearken to his words. I hark them. No. Bismarck swallowed, the Wendy's. It ate the Wendy's, and then became the Wendy's. The Dairy Queen is, Yazael's followers in Akka Amphitheater. The icy place. That's the Dairy Queen. Netherlings deliver Lonu Vanu from the claws of steel-shod fiends and prove nobility. Mother trucker. He knows not to ignore Zephyr winds and brings before you with all haste. Soft rains to soothe the heart and sunshine to warm. Gratitude of Sonu, chief of Zundu, is boundless. We honored to meet you, Chief Sonu. I am Alfino Levier, and these are my companions, Yorva Ovasc and Sid Garland, who definitely wants to be here right now. We are come in search of an airship, well, maybe two of them, a flying vessel of the Nethers, which we believe is somewhere in the Cloud Sea. Ah, like to black steel-shod contraption from which you saved Lonu Vanu? Alas, no. That ship, that's... Alvino's like, actually, hold on, let me clarify. There's two airships that we don't really like, but it's not actually the one we're after. That ship belongs to the Garlean Empire, an old enemy of ours, though not the enemy we are looking for at the present. We're dealing with a lot now. The men we seek wear armor of purest white, and are led by an older man in white robes. Wait! Lonuvanu here tell of these Netherlings. You do? Are you certain? As sun rises and falls and returns, we are. It's right as rain. Zundu scouts can testify to words of Lonuvanu. Aye, aye. Winds carry purpose of Netherlings to our ears as well. Netherlings see key to Azi's law. Oh, well, that matches up perfectly. Now we're getting somewhere. Tell us, Chief Sonu, what exactly is this Azi's law? Beware, Netherlings, for blackest cloud portend greatest danger. Look not into the heart of tempest. There lies ancient birthplace of sin, home of forbidden secret. To speak more is to call the wind, and maybe that whale. We already lost our Windies. We have no more Windies. We have to rebuild. Maybe we make new Windies. Call it McDonald's. But the White Devourer's Isle, where Key is kept, and also where the Windies was. Deep within bowels of mighty Bismarck it lies. All that Windies. Beyond reach of the foolhardy. Oh yeah, I forgot. Bismarck swallowed the key, so everybody's after it because it has the key. And beyond ours. Rejoice not in his gluttony, Lonuvanu, for as stone gives way to water and wind, all yields to the white. This he knows, Chief Sonu. Madness of Vundu bodes ill for all Vanu. So to clarify, if it's hard to follow, the Zundu are a nicer tribe of the Vanu. Or no, it's the Vanu. No, yeah, it's Zundu. Zundu, and then the Vundu below. So when they're talking about the Vundu, which sounds very close to Zundu, I understand. The Vundu are the zealot cult leaders that worship Bismarck. The ones who hate Bismarck or think he's full of shit are the Zundu up here. So I don't know. I had a hard time following when I was, because it's like, it's either Vundu or Zundu, and I'm like, which ones are the good ones? Which ones? It's like, you gotta remember, okay, Zundu. Yeah, I've now done this plot a couple of times now, actually more than a couple of times, and I constantly forget that we don't take down Bismarck, not because he's a primal, but because the primal is definitely holding the key to where we need to go. The catch-22 here is we either let Bismarck keep the key out of reach of the Archbishop and also the Garleans, which we're now finding out that it's like all just like a three-way race to get this key. But so we let Bismarck kind of rampage around, slowly eating up all of these islands around us, and keep the key away from them, only for somebody to maybe get that key anyways. Or we kill Bismarck ourselves, get the key, and hopefully snatch it away from the Empire and, you know, the Archbishop, but then we become targets, holding the key ourselves. So Azi's Law is home to forbidden secrets, accessible only to the bearer of a key which the Archbishop covets, Much as I would like to believe it's safe within the belly of Bismarck, the Knights of the Heavensward wield primal powers. There, he just summarized what I also just said. If we do not slay the whale and claim the key first, they surely will. Quite how we will go about it is another matter. As was the case in our battle with Leviathan, we are out of our element, and that's in more ways than one. And this time, we have far few allies to call upon. Be that as it may, our customary approach still holds true. We must begin by learning more about the Whites. Let us each question the residents of this village, then regroup and share our findings anon. Yeah, it's like, the Heavensward probably does. I doubt the Empire really has it, but I mean, let's be clear, the Empire is known as Icon Slayers too, so... If Netherlings seek knowledge of the White, then speak with Kunu Vali, foremost keeper of the tales. But neglect not to present self with humility and respect. As sun yields to moon, and moon to sun, Netherlings must greet Kunu Vali with a bow. I mean, yeah, let's go for it. Let's replace Psych. We're gonna psych them up. Yeah, I mean, both factions definitely have... Because the Heavensward don't even need the power of the Echo because they are already tempered to another primal. And the rules are, if you're already tempered, you can't be re-tempered again. Then the quality of crystals needed to sustain Bismarck would exceed that consumed by Leviathan. Alfino's like, oh my god. It's bigger than Leviathan. And the Garleans definitely could get tempered by Bismarck. But I think there is lore why the Garleans were actually really good at killing primals. And I think it's their third eye. Of course, these would have to be true blood Garleans, you know, but I think it makes them a little bit immune. Not fully immune, because obviously, a certain plot point revolving around Sid's father, you know, but that did entail a very, very large primal, the size of a moon. What ill-mannered beast comes before Kunu Vali and begs to hear tales? None who deserve aught, that is much she knows. Oh, I'm gonna bow. Golly. Zephyr winds at your back and sunshine to warm your brow. Traveler from below. Kunu Vali, keeper of the tales, hear your words and she remembers. Also, in my chat log right now is like, it's this guy over here behind me. He's begging for water, and I'm just sitting here like, not now. keeps talking about it. In times long ago, in lands elsewhere, before even the Cloud Sea, the White is one among many. Newborn, he swims besides his many brothers in seas of endless water. Oh, Kali. DJ Khaled. I mean, getting ahead of ourselves, that's Dawn Trail, but yeah. I mean, DJ Khaled definitely lives in Tuliolal, don't you know? But hated the White is, we're getting distracted, for his brothers are purest black. So great is their contempt, their loathing, that they turn upon him and rend his flesh asunder, and so he falls, only to rise again. For merciful gods raise him to the heavens, and there he is reborn. The White still longs for the sea to which he cannot return, but in rebirth, A splinter of divine is shared, and so he opens his maw, from whence comes the clouds, and a new sea is born, home to him alone. So this is saying that Bismarck did come from the sea, but was uplifted. Content, he gazes below and sees others who are as he, hated and hunted. He weeps, and in his benevolence, he rises up the isles of the earth and guides those people to the cloud sea. Such is the tale of his rebirth and the salvation of the Vanu. May it never be forgot. But this demon which menaces the cloud sea, his rage is that of the Vundu, his hunger that of a wild beast. The isles are his gift to us, yet now he must consume them? Kunuvali knows no tales like this. So she's saying this false god is shit. He's supposed to give us islands, not devour them. That guy's just gonna have to stay thirsty. I'm not gonna help him. I'm not gonna help him get the water. Personally, I've seen enough of that flying feathered whale already. Boy, Sid, do I have a thing for you. He's like, man, I really hope I don't see more of that whale. So according to the Vanu, the Sea of Clouds and the Floating Isles were gifts from Bismarck to his people. Gifts which he has taken to eating, yes. Technically within his rights. He's like, well, if they're his. Technically within his rights, I suppose, if perhaps a little ungenerous. Gods, eh? But what of you, Alfino? Did you learn aught of value? He's like, I heard he also eats. Alas, no. That is, unless you have an interest in the intricacies of Vanu sky fishing. Sky fishing? I love to fish. Never mind. My gosh, that's it, Alfino, my boy. I could kiss you. Alfino's like, please don't. From what we have observed, Bismarck is a creature of pure instinct, driven primarily by hunger, like most of us. When wounded by the Imperials, it fled, but not before devouring another island to restore its strength. What I propose is this. We tow a suitably appetizing island through the Sea of Clouds, in essence fishing for our flying whale. This is the most batshit plan that has ever come up in this entire series. And of course it comes from Sid. Once we draw Bismarck out of hiding, we shall use dragon killers to fire grapples into the beast's hide, and then reel it in close, enabling our resident Icon Slayer to engage it directly. Yorva's like, I'm gonna get on top of the whale. A bold plan, Master Garland, but an exceedingly dangerous one. Should Yorva fail to subdue the creature, she will most certainly be eaten. Yorva's like, I don't know, maybe I could I could do worse, along with the rest of your appetizing island. I think there is a bad end to that fight where Bismarck just eats the entire island and we go, oh, she won't fail. She didn't fail the other 500 times we've done this. And if anything does go wrong, I'll be at the helm of the Enterprise, ready to tow her out of trouble. I wouldn't entrust a task like this to anyone else. Nothing will go wrong. It'll be fine. Nor I. I trust you have no objections to my joining you as well. He's like, can I fly the airship? Sid's like, no chance in hell, but you can sit there. Not at all, the more the merrier. This isn't some cruise we're taking, guys. Like, oh my god. Right then, it seems the boys and I have a lot of work to do if the Enterprise is to be ready for our fishing trip, while you two need to find some bait. And not just any island mine, I want a mouthful at most. How do we find like a juicy burger island? Like... Gotta find a burger-shaped island? Well, you heard Sid. We need an island to bait the hook. By way of a first step, I propose we speak with Chief Sonu. If the Zundu are as concerned by Bismarck's behavior as they have given us to believe, they may well be supportive of our efforts to slay him. I want to walk up to each of these guys and be like, guys, we have a great fucking plan. We're gonna fly an airship with an island trailing behind us and just have Bismarck go, like, try to nibble on us a little bit, and we're just gonna fight him. The boys and I can handle most of the preparations, but we'll need you to secure us a suitable island. Let me know when it's done. You know, just... Gonna go ahead and do that, I guess. Gonna walk up to the chief and be like, so which of these islands is like your least favorite? Like, just asking. We can but ask. The worst he can say is no. The Tramontane is upon us. What is Tramontane? The white feast, and the Vundu rejoice in his carnage. Hear me, Chief Sonu. This creature which torments you now is not the deity who raised up the floating isles and made a gift of them to you. He is a perversion of your beliefs given form by the Vundu, a false savior who consumes that which he would rightly safeguard, or that which he should rightly safeguard. He's doing the opposite of gifting you stuff. Yet it need not be this way, Chief Sonu. We have the power to strike down this impostor, but we must beg of you an island to see it done. Moats against the tempest, in vain do they struggle. I mean, he's just like, I'm sorry, you're gonna what? And you're not gonna die doing that? Yet who is Sonu to speak of what may be? He's like, well, I mean, I've never tried it, so... Perhaps even the Tramontane can turn to the Ponente. I have to look up a dictionary of those words. Very well, Netherlings. When you are ready, tell Zundu scouts what manner of island you require. They shall guide you to it. We shall not fail, Chief Sonu. On that you have my word. Come, Yorva. Let us see how Sid's preparations are progressing in the 30 seconds we have left him. Oh, the only island they're not allowed to take is the heart-shaped island. I don't think it's on my map yet. I had to think there for a minute, like, I did grab that etherite, right? Yeah. The guy who wanted water gave up and went home. Gotta see what burger-shaped island they find. First we gotta tell them, like, this is what a burger looks like, and they're like, oh yes, that was at Wendy's. Yeah, we need it round shaped though, not square. Or maybe that would be better since Bismarck ate the Wendy's. It's like, we gotta find a Wendy's shaped burger. Oh my god, there's so much to this map. We've not even discovered, like... Oh no, not Indie Minion. Not that guy from Sailor Moon. get this right here. Why, that took hardly any time at all. The Ironworks engineers do not disappoint. Yeah, it took like a minute. How are we really going to go sky fishing for a primal? Wedge heard that and he's like, I'm sorry, what? Our Guardian friends has furnished us with dragon killers and ammunition. Damn, like that did happen real fast. And I've taken the liberty of procuring a Magitech field generator as well. I stole it from the Empire. Rest assured, we've changed the spare, every link forged by the manufacturer's master craftsman. If you have any lingering doubts as to the strength, know that they were originally intended to bind dragons, and were not found wanting. It pleases me to inform you that the Vanu Vanu have agreed to furnish us with an island of our choosing. Then all that remains is to confirm the readiness of the poor buggers who will actually be doing the fighting. Yorva, let Wedge know when your party is assembled. Alright. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but I don't like this plan. I don't like it one little bit. But I can't help being excited all the same. This is like the greatest thrill ride that could possibly kill you in very quick succession. So tell me, Yorva, are you ready to hunt the white whale? Are you ready to hunt the white whale? Yeah. After you, then, Yorva. All aboard! All aboard the get eaten by the whale ride. Alright. Primal number 2. I still think this is like the funniest primal fight in all of Final Fantasy XIV. Like, the absurdity, also like how fast that plan was. Like, Alfino's like, I don't know, I just learned about sky fishing, and Sid's over there like, wait a minute. Sky fishing? Like, that's what I'll do. And they're like, yeah, we'll just rig up an island to the back of the Enterprise, fly around, and fish for a whale. And then they're like, yeah, Warrior of Light, you're gonna do it? And they're like, I mean, can I say no? I don't think I can. I'm gonna check for any that I might have missed. I think there's not really other than those 2 that I came across, but, you know. Might as well check for some while I wait. I know we'll go this direction anyways, but might as well check ahead, I guess. Trying to think which Final Fantasy game Bismarck first appeared in. Is it Final Fantasy VI? It was Final Fantasy VI. Bismarck is not what I would consider like one of those like OG summon, like Titan, Shiva, Ifrit. Like those are like some of the classic ones. Bismarck was kind of one of those like came in the middle of the franchise. Although I guess being from Final Fantasy VI, it's getting less and less coming from the middle. kind of more coming in from the beginning of the series. But I think remind me again, are they primal summons or espers in Final Fantasy VI? I think they're called espers. I check again. Yeah, I think that they are espers in 6. They're called espers, just like Final Fantasy XII, like... Yeah, you are right. Bismarck's fight does remind me quite a lot from Sin from Final Fantasy X. Actually, I was just thinking the other day that there's not a whole lot of Final Fantasy X inspired references in this game, like compared to, like, oh my god, Final Fantasy IV or 5. I think we've made reference to nearly everything from Final Fantasy V, but at least now we have the Hrothgar, which technically she would be a Ronso in Final Fantasy X if they ever had women of the Ronso in Final Fantasy X, but I believe it isn't on the first they're called Ronso. So there's a direct Final Fantasy X reference. But yeah, I would say that Bismarck definitely reminds me of the Sin fight from Final Fantasy X, but you aren't fighting Bismarck in that one. Yes, Final Fantasy IX is definitely referenced in Dawn Trail, to the point where there are even characters that are directly referencing it, which honestly I love that about Dawn Trail. I would love to see way more Final Fantasy IX references, but I think Dawn Trail kind of satisfied that. We're also lacking a bit of Final Fantasy VII references. Like, we have some like direct references more in what I would call like extra things. Like, there's the whole Cloud Strife outfit that you can get from veteran rewards. You can buy the motorcycles from the Mog Station that are 100% Final Fantasy VII. And yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking with Final Fantasy X. It's like we do have, like, I hesitate to say Shiva because Shiva is not specifically Final Fantasy. Shiva has shown up in many of the games even before Final Fantasy X, but everybody when they think of Shiva are like, you think of her from Final Fantasy X. Because that's honestly the most beautiful rendition of Shiva they've ever had. And while I would say that Yzael's version of Shiva in this game doesn't... I think it's actually, with the design of her, like, coattails and stuff like that, I think that's more Final Fantasy IV Shiva, or like the original Shiva. She appeared in a sprite in those games. I almost kind of hope that in Evercold, maybe there might be more reference to 10. We don't quite know exactly what the next expansion might give us. But when it comes to, like, callbacks to other Final Fantasies and even spin-offs, we get a generous helping of some of the content, and then in other ones it's like it's kind of silent on those. Not that I'm saying we should introduce fucking Midgard, you know, to Final Fantasy XIV, but honestly, I actually wouldn't take issue if something kind of harkened back to Midgard. That place is actually kind of fun, but... Oh yeah, the Magus sisters, definitely, and Yojimbo. Though, did Yojimbo first appear in 10? Or is it that his model is... Why am I not coming across, like, any currents at all? I feel like there's, like, no ether currents to be found anywhere. Like, do I have to already get very close to them? It's been a long time. I'm just gonna discover most of the map while I wait. Yeah, Yojimbo was 6. I just don't know if maybe his model is more based off of Final Fantasy. Because Yojimbo, no, I might be thinking of Gilgamesh shows up in 12 for sure. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. His model in 14 is likened to his one from 10. I can't find any of these damn currents. They're just not showing up. Like, how many do I even have to find? I know a few of these are from quests. Oh, wait a minute. So does this mean purely it's just quests that I need? Because it's telling me... Hey, is it just me or were there way more ether currents to find than just 4 in the past? This doesn't make sense to me. Because according to this, I could unlock flight. Hey, did they change this? Or am I just out of touch? I seriously believe that I was supposed to find way more than these. Yeah, I feel like I'm going crazy right now. I remember there being like 8,000 too. But as I'm searching around here, I'm like, I'm not detecting any of these, only to find out I'm not detecting any because I found them all. And I'm like, what do you mean I found them all after 4? Hold on. Oh, for sure. I'm looking at somebody's screenshot from like 2014. There was definitely way more than 4. They should have 10 field currents and 5 quests. When did this change? Ugh, I wish I had this back in the day. I was just saying back on stream back at the Airy how much I was like, well, I guess off screen I'll go find the ether currents, but I don't even need to. Just by following the quest line, it seems that because all of these were easily grabbable by the quest line points, it seems like they left in the ones that are by where obviously you're going to go. Oh my god, though. Nobody who joins this game in this day and age has any right to complain, because back in my day, Warrior of Lights had to walk uphill both directions. Like, this makes me feel so good for any newbies coming in. But it also makes me pissed off because we had to search for 10 of these fucks. That means 60 of these ether currents in total. And now oh, here we go. I'm sitting over here discovering that ether currents aren't really a thing anymore. Waiting for the limitless blue. I was starting to get suspicious though, because I was like hitting this ether compass and I'm like, no way, I can't have traveled like all of this part of the map and not seen a single dang one. And little do I know, like, nope, there's only 4. Like, wow. Welcome everyone to the craziest fight you'll ever fucking have. I like that we did put like little tattered flags on it, like we decorated it up. Like a little garnish for Bismarck. Like, do you like tattered flags? I definitely know when there's another Hrothgar in the area, at least a male one, when I hear the Hee-yah! It's my favorite voice set actually. When Hrothgar were first introduced, back when there was only the male model and there were no female models. I was like, did we hit that thing? Or no, the island's integrity just... You don't have to, like, hit that field generator nowadays. Oh, I thought I almost saw somebody fall down. Fun fact, you can fall off of this. But, I remember back in the day, if you did not hit that thing, like, you were in for a bad time. Yeah, and Sid's over there like, we'll be fine, and he's like the first one freaking out on the ship. 'Cause of course, like, stuff we couldn't predict happens. I can't remember, like... It's only extreme that we ever need to pay attention to what color we're fighting. I think I've done the extreme so much that I can't often remember the normal fight. Yeah, I don't think it matters in this one. You could just attack whatever. In the extreme version, you have to be careful of if you're attacking blue or green, depending on what debuff you're tagged with. Oh my god. There's still like so many AoEs. I mean, even the normal fight was pretty hazardous back in the day. I do remember not passing the first time I tried it, but that was because most of us didn't know what we were doing. Just roars at us. Damn it, we've lost the generator. Something we quote from Sid all the damn time. Other than the control panel. Oh, please don't knock me off. Oh, I was out of it. Good. Bismarck knocks his huge body into that, which stuns you for a bit, and if you're right where one of these Vundu are gonna hit you with something. Oh yeah, Bismarck's music is something to actually talk about too. I love this theme. It's for being a boss fight, it's very calming. Also in extreme contrast to Ravana singing his own theme song in the last fight we had. We got those dragon killers. The missing the dragon killers part was often usually the big killer in these fights. Everybody's just like, you got it right. It's like nobody manned it. We didn't even have to LB that. This fight is now extremely short though, because of how OP players are. Back in the day, that fight would have lasted like at least 15 minutes longer than this. Yeah, it definitely is like, it's a more like calming beat, but it definitely is I agree, there is like an underlying tension. Definitely something different from other boss fights we get. Which is kind of refreshing sometimes. Oh, we're connecting to another fast food chain. Oh, we got the Wendy's back, so this is the Wendy's. Is this the red one? Oh, it's the green one. Subway?
Warrior light, beloved Eidolon, all made one. Darkness, like to none known. Hark the receiver blessing small.
You're cutting out there, Mom. Mom! Yeah, we're about to receive the key, and then Mom calls us on the phone. Get a Wendy's. Or Subway. I guess the green one has to be... Just would make sense if we got a Wendy's, you know, out of Bismarck. Look, it's this
So
bitch.
forth the Lord of Mists, as did all others before him. How many times does this make, Warrior of Light? Ah, how much you have grown. Far beyond the limits of mere mortals.
I can't remember this. You
She has what we seek.
Voice somebody else.
That she does. The key to Azizla and the secrets of Alag. I see you have regained the blessing of light, albeit at a fraction of its former strength.
My thanks to you, Asian. And to you as well, Warrior of Light, for saving us the effort of slaying Bismarck.
You're so welcome.
Now that the key is within our grasp, the path to the heavens shall at last be laid bare.
Oh, I know where I'm recognizing her voice. She's, later, Aliens. Iggy Orm's voice actor. I was like, wait a minute. She shows up again, I'm pretty sure. I have to do my evil bad guy cackle now.
By our deeds shall the wrongs of antiquity be righted, and man reclaim the reins of history.
Oh, who's she in Game of Thrones? I think there's a few people in this game that are in Game of Thrones, now that I think about it. Not anybody who's, like, major, but... Because obviously it's like... If it were one of the main characters, I think they would have to take a pause in doing this game to go act in Game of Thrones. Well, that plan went swimmingly. Forgive me, Yorva. Had I known what was happening, mayhap I could have done something to stop them. You know, just... You guys just sat back there and were like, I guess she'll be fine. Alas, Wedge and I were still sealed within the engine room and heard naught of the struggle until it was over. And now, for all our efforts, the Archbishop holds the very thing we sought to keep from him. But all is not lost, for we yet live, and we know their destination. It's like, great. Let us give chase and bring an end to their machinations. Though we failed to secure the key, we must not forget that we succeeded in ridding the realm of another primal, and prevented the Vanu Vanu lands from being consumed in doing so. I mean, I guess, you know, you gotta take the positives. Alfino's like, I am practicing positivity. That's what my therapist told me to do. The Zundu, at least, shall be glad of our deeds this day. Let us go and inform Chief Sonu of our victory. Sid and the others will need a moment to tend to the Enterprise. Besides...
Wait, something is amiss.
Like always.
Imperial troops. And they have already secured the area.
Reveal yourselves at once!
We are revealed.
There I was expecting more beastmen. Who are you?
I don't know, who are you? I'm supposed to know who you are.
I thought Ishgardians responsible for the disappearance of our scouts, but I see now that I was mistaken.
Alfino's like, is that the fucking Emperor? Nobody was expecting this.
Just as Huaya observed. The Warrior of Light is wont to appear at the most inopportune times.
Like, does the Emperor just randomly come to
Warrior of
Ishgard?
Light? She who bested Van Baelsar.
It would seem that the famous hero of Eorzea seeks Azizlar as well. Hardly unexpected. The secrets of the Allagan's power to bind icons to their will could scarcely fail to interest the scions of the Seventh Dawn.
It
You
was
know
their
as well as
test
we what will
facility.
ensue should these insatiable creatures be allowed to roam free. That their very existence threatens the life of this star. We but disagree on the solution to the problem.
Genocide has ever been the Empire's favored recourse. And that is why we will continue to oppose your every attempt to claim Eorzea.
Alfino's like, why is it that you guys always go to
You
genocide?
do
Like,
not
every
hesitate
single
to
time.
speak your mind, even when your every word could be your last. Alas, your sentiments betray the narrowness of your view. The fate of Eorzea and its inhabitants is of little concern next to the fate of the world. Tis my solemn charge as Emperor to bring the icons to here. If this requires the extermination of certain elements, then so be it.
Man, that Botox was really bad on your face, honestly.
No, don't! They are not his thralls!
Hell yeah. Big damn hero moment.
Where did that come from?
Your mom.
Take cover!
She's like, remember, I'm
Your
here.
Radiance, we must withdraw.
Damn it, my fax machine is broken again. Ah, that's where their airship... Again, where were they hiding it? Like, where was this?
We shall meet again, Warrior of Light. On that you have my word.
Yeah, this part is a little bit unexpected because you're like, the very fucking emperor of the Garlean Empire is here, and you're like, what are you doing outside of your throne, dude? Their big ass... That thing is the size of, like, a
Garlemald too
town.
has designs on Azizlar. But why would the Emperor himself elect to lead the expedition?
Alfina's confused too. They're like, what the fuck? Then Lucia is like, you're not killing birdmen on my watch. And Alfino's like, God damn it. If I had a nickel for every time we had to prevent genocide, we'd be rich. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would stand less than 20 paces from the Emperor of Garlemald. Barasos Galvis in the flesh. I assume the commander that accompanied him must be the legatus of whom the centurion spoke. Ah, forgive me, this is neither the time nor the place for such idle speculation. Yorva's like, wait a minute, I still don't know who Regula is, and you mentioned him like 1 million years ago. pray return to the Enterprise at once. It occurs to me that our friends may have run afoul of Imperial forces as well. I have yet to appraise Chief Sonu of all that has occurred, but once I have, we will rejoin you at the airship. Ah, the armor? I had it sent here as a precautionary measure. I almost predicted that something like this would happen, but honestly, the Emperor kind of surprised me. Lucia's like, I don't think I was expecting the Emperor. Yeah, I mean, Warrior of Light at this point better be, like, very confused. Especially if you're not very learned and you're like, Alfino's over there like, I know all my Legatuses, and Yorva's like, the only Legatuses I know are the ones I killed. They're all dead. Just like nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, like nobody expects the Garlean Emperor. I mean, he's just a long way from home, and it's like, what could be possibly so fucking important that the Emperor would just leave the seat of power, you know? Kind of a ballsy move, if you think about it, but, you know, Varus does do ballsy moves. Thank the 12 you're alive, Yorva. I saw that ship the size of a building up there. I don't know how we didn't see it before. When that battleship appeared and fired on the village, we feared the game was up for you and Alfino. What in seven hells happened out there? Sid, do you know that the Emperor of Carlos is here? I think Sid just kind of sits down for a moment and just is like, okay. The Emperor is here. First the Archbishop turns up with an ass-eat in tow, and now the goddamn Emperor pays us a visit? What is this, a procession of notable bastards? Who's next? The Keeper of the Seventh Bloody Gate? No one so notable, Master Garland. I am happy to report that the Zundu were overjoyed to learn of Bismarck's demise. Yeah, Sid's losing his fucking mind. He's just like... You cannot just walk up to that man and be like, hey, the Emperor of Garlemald is here. And he's just like... okay. Chief Sonu sends his warmest regards, Yorva. There was much talk of westerly winds. She's like, that's my favorite kind of wind, so good. Miraculously, none suffered lasting harm during the raid. It would seem the Zundu were taken entirely unawares, and wisely chose to offer no resistance. The fuck? Oh. That knocked me out of my cutscene. I wasn't aware that that still happened. Well, that was annoying. I couldn't control that. This is why, if you're ever fighting something, try to keep it away from other players that are in a cutscene, please. Alright, where were we? I just heard Yorva make a noise, and I'm like, is that part of the cutscene? I thought it was fixed so that, if you're in a cutscene, you have immunity, so that won't happen, but apparently these older expansions, that's still a thing. Weird. Alright, I sense that they have no more to fear from the Empire, for the present at least. Had the Emperor truly been intent on their extermination, Okzundu would have already been leveled. Plainly, Varus is only interested in reaching Ozzy's Law. I believe it was Stormblood because I remember a particularly very annoying moment in Stormblood where a lot of players were playing the game, obviously, and there was something that kept spawning enemies in this area where you had a cutscene, and nobody was courteous. It took fucking forever to get through that cutscene because you had no idea if somebody was going to walk up with one of those enemies and just decimate an entire crowd with an AoE. So, yeah. They had to fix it because it was hindering progression. Like right now, I have no idea if somebody's walking up to me with an enemy or not. So, speaking of which, if you're all ready to continue the chase, the Enterprise is as well, shall we? Yeah, let's get out of here before somebody gets an Endymion up my ass again. Yeah, like, I know they've had it so that stuff like that won't happen again, but out of courtesy, always, if I see a player out and about and there's an icon that shows on your character that you're viewing a cutscene, if I see that, I drag enemies away from them. I don't even care if it's not possible or not, I just do it. The upside down pyramid being a bitch to stay in cutscene. Oh yeah. I mean, I think nowadays they just transport the character out of wherever, and then you either reappear or, you know, get teleported somewhere else, depending on what the cutscene does. But yeah, I haven't been rudely like thrown out of a cutscene like that since Stormblood. So, lest you wonder, Wedge was able to calculate the heading indicated by the calculate the heading indicated by the beam of light emitted by the key. The heading. All I can think about is in Word when you have like a heading and a footer or whatever. If Ozzy's Law lies in that direction, we'll find it. I mean, we could also just look with our eyes, because that was a rather large beam of light. The Soleil may have may have a lead on us. Jeez, I can't read this. But she's no Enterprise. We'll catch them. You'll see. It's like a tugboat just tooting along, whereas we're like a speedboat. Here's a good cutscene.
I did not think that I would ever have occasion to pilot a suit of Magitech armor again. Least of all under these circumstances. My full name is Lucia Go Junius, and I was born a citizen of Garlemald.
Ah, that explains it. When we first met in Ishgard, I very nearly called you Livia.
Livia? Livia Sas Junius? The tribunus who served under Gaius van Baelsar?
Can you imagine a Word document in front of Urianche's face?
She was my sister, though we spent little time together. After our parents were killed in an uprising, we were sent to live in different households, setting us on separate paths. Livia felt at home on the battlefield and chose to become a soldier, while I underwent training to become a spy.
Then, Ishgard was...
I was gonna burn it to the ground.
My mission. It was believed that Allagan relics of great worth were stored in the vault, and I was sent to investigate.
Oh, you're half
I was
right.
given little information at the time. I now suspect I was searching for the key we but recently lost. And then I met Sir Emmerich. 'Twas his usefulness to my mission which prompted me to approach him, but I soon found myself drawn to him for other reasons.
He's just really good at talking.
He too was a prisoner of his past, judged for his heritage as a bastard son of the Archbishop. Yet unlike my sister and I, he did not curse his fate. He simply rose above it.
Really cool of him.
In time, I came to realize that I had found a man worth following, and a new home besides. And when I subsequently confessed all to Sir Emmerich, he was good enough to accept me into his service.
I do not question your loyalty to Sir Emmerich. 'Tis your loyalty to your sister which concerns me.
She's dead now, bitch.
I have long been of the opinion that those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future. My sister fought for her convictions and for those she held dear. So do I. So must we all.
Well, I, for one, am happy to welcome a fellow Garlean to our merry band. Especially one who can make Magitech armor sing.
So it's just like, I'm so glad I'm not the only one now.
Close.
Once we break through those clouds, we'll be right where the light was pointing. Right where Azizlar should be.
Hold on, everyone!
Yeah, I do think Alfino would be like, even if my sister turned evil, I think I'd be tempted to join her, but I'm like, oh, come on,
Look!
Alfino.
I think that's it!
I don't even think Lucia and Livia are twins. They just look very similar. I think there's weirdness about their ages, though. Or more like there's,
Aye. There's no mistaking their handiwork.
There's something weird with Livia's lore that doesn't match up. Something in the Evil East lore makes it sound like when she was 8 years old, she led an entire army. So there's some weirdness about how old Livia and Lucia claim to be.
She won't hold, Chief! She's breaking up!
I've lost the auxiliary propeller!
Either that Livia has to be the older sister.
Sid, it's no use! We must return to Ishgard and find another way!
God damn it all! Why do the Allagans always have to make everything so bloody complicated?
He's like, surely we wouldn't encounter 2 barriers in this damn game. This isn't wind aspected. It's like everything aspected. But yeah, the only weirdness that's in Lucia and Livia's lore, it mostly has to do with Livia, is the weird Evil East lore that it took place. Again, if Livia's the younger sister, it would have made her ridiculously young to butcher an entire town. Or I'm going to say that the Evil East lore is completely inaccurate, and because that's how it is. But there's 2 things that are technically true in the lore of this game, is that Livia burned down, or became like, was it the Butcher of something, back in Evil East when the Empire took over. But if you calculate her age and count back from that date, she would have been like maybe a child, you know, when she did it. Or the ages of Lucia and Livia are wrong, and they're much older than what they're put down in the book as. So, could be it's like Lucia and Livia are lying about their ages, but why would they? Especially Lucia. But if Livia is lying about her age, that would make her older than Lucia, and it doesn't make sense. We barely finished repairing the damage incurred during our sky fishing trip. On the other hand, any landing you can walk away from, as they say. Yorva's like, I don't know. What do they say? I can only presume the Soleil passed through the barrier unscathed. That would certainly explain why the Vanu called it a key. Move around here. Assuming Sid is correct, and I have no reason to think that he is not, the Vanu's key is required to pass through the barrier protecting Ozzy's law. But even without it, we must find a way to reach the Isle. I shall have everyone convene at the seat of the Lord Commander, and we might discuss how best to proceed. As before, make yourself known to the guardsman when you arrive, and he will show you in. When you go to the night. There we go. But yeah, regarding Livia's lore, I think the fact that all the Evilise lore came out, Shadowbringers, so I think it's that they just were not paying attention to the ages of these two women, and they accidentally wrote something that sounded kind of absurd. Honestly, it's kind of still a remnant of we're too afraid to make any women past the age of 30, and it's like, oh my god. I mean, this game is still better than most games, but it's like nobody's allowed to be older than 26 sometimes. It's okay if you're a man. If you're a man, you can be in your 30s, but not if you're women. Welcome back, my friend, and pray forgive my earlier display. Count Edmond, I would have crashed out much harder than you if it were me. Honestly, I think you deserve even more, like, crying on the ground, honestly, than what you did. I grieve for my son still, and shall continue to do so, but I have resolved to be strong. It is what he would have wished. Though we know little and less of Ozzy's law, one thing is plain. The Archbishop and the Garleans cannot be allowed to avail themselves of its secrets. I swear, whenever there's an Allegan ruin, there's trouble just waiting to happen. I suppose that's why they erected such damnable convoluted defenses around everything. Since, like, I still remember the Crystal Tower. If the Empire has an interest in Ozzy's law, we have all the more reason to hurry. I would not see its secret fall into the hands of either the Archbishop or the Emperor. I think Edmond has already adopted Aymeric. Like, there's a lot of short stories that hint that, you know, if Aymeric ever needs a good father figure to come to,
In
Edmond
summary,
is
the
there.
Isle owes its lofty position to the industry of the Allegans, and we can be all but certain that the Archbishop and his cronies are enjoying the view from its top.
I see.
If we are to join them, we will first need to pass through the Isle's etheric barrier, which is, alas, more powerful than most. Powerful enough to make a mess of a perfectly good airship at any rate.
It's like my ship.
As far as I can gather, the barrier mechanism draws ether from the surrounding environment and polarizes its elemental aspect to produce what is, in effect, a wall of lightning.
Very little people understood that.
It seems plain that without the Vanu's key, any attempt to reach the Isle will end in failure.
Actually, I should say, Warrior of Light did not understand anything he just
careless
said.
enough to leave without us, and I don't think the Vanu keep a spare.
Do you promise?
Master Garland, based on your experience, is there no other way that we might breach the barrier?
Could ram it.
Well, in the past, we've beaten similar barriers by nullifying them with elemental converters. But the one we're up against this time dwarfs all we've encountered before. The Enterprise simply isn't large enough to bear the requisite amount of crystals.
I'm reminded of the quantity needed to nullify Leviathan's command of the sea. A veritable mountain of crystals that could only be borne by lashing 2 galleons together to form a twin vessel, scarcely able to propel itself, much less fly.
That said, we're not without options. If it isn't feasible to nullify the barrier, we might try piercing it.
How?
We create a ram of condensed ether and mount it on my ship. There's just one problem. I don't have the faintest idea how to build one. It's going to take a true authority in the field, I reckon.
Would that the Archons were still with us.
But yesterday evening, I chanced to find Mistress Tataru in unusually high spirits. Assuming I understood her excited ramblings correctly, she has acquired a clue, pointing to the whereabouts of one such individual.
An Archon? Truly?
Ha! Fortune favors the righteous, eh? Well then, let's not waste any time. While you go and look for our missing friend, I'll work on modifying the Enterprise. Her hull will need reinforcing to bear the punishment, not to mention a mount for the ram. Just you wait, my pretty. By the time I'm finished, you'll be an airship reborn.
Yorva's like, Sid, you're getting a little bit creepy about your ship. What if we ask the Moogles? And the dragons? You know, somehow I think even good King Muggle can't even solve the situation. Welcome back, Yorva. How goes the mission? Terribly. Did you manage to catch up with the Archbishop and his cronies? Well, we caught up with them once. Also, the Garlean Emperor's here. So you finally arrived at Ozzy's Law, only to find your way barred by some sort of barrier. Typical. But it's not all bad news. I've made progress in the search for our friends. Don't worry, Yorva. We'll get to Ozzy's Law yet. Yeah, hopefully they're delayed long enough that... The Empire was not far behind them, so we gotta hope that the Empire and the Archbishop and the Heavensward have to, like, duke it out long enough for us to find a way through. No, but I did meet the Emperor Tataru. When you fled the Victory Feast, you used the ancient watercourse beneath the city, right? I almost forgot about that part, yeah? We were in the sewers. You could just call it the sewers. Well, shortly after things went back to normal in Udal, I asked Marshal Tarupin to have the tunnel searched. And he said there was nothing. A logical place to look. Like, wouldn't it have been hilarious if most of the Scions just ended up living in the sewers for, like, months on end? Honestly, this logical place to look. It was there that you lost contact with Minfilia, Thancred, and Y'shtola, was it not? Dare I ask what the Marshal found in the sewers? I don't actually know. Pippin's message just said that there had been a discovery, and that we were to come to the Hollow of the Flames at our earliest convenience. Once again, we're going back to Ul'dah for the third time. I dare not think what it might be. We shall depart at once. Tataru, let Urianger know to join us in Ul'dah. He will wish to be present as well. Yes, sir. I mean, it shouldn't be so dire. I think Pippin would at least be telling us, like, we need you to come identify a body. That would have been, like, grave. Actually, what am I doing? I should probably just, teleport. And I think there's still hope that they're not dead, you know, if you don't know what you don't know, but, I definitely at that point believed that they were probably all in hiding or some shit. Though I have to say, I thought, in the case of Thancred and Y'shtola, I was like, they might have been. But I was like, at this point I think I did have a thought of like, are they living in the sewer? But, I don't know. We are grateful for your assistance, Marshal Tarupin. Please tell me to not identify a body. You saved Her Grace and Father both. 'Tis the least I could do to repay you. Forgive me my impatience, Marshal, but your missive mentioned a discovery? Yes, of course. As per your request, I had my men scour the waterways. Almost immediately, we encountered a difficulty. An entire section of the tunnel had collapsed. With the Mineral Concern's cooperations, however, we were able to remove the rubble and yielded the battered bodies of a dozen crystal braves. Go on. Be at ease, Master Alfino. Your friends were not among the deceased. That alone is cause for hope. And then there's this. Y'shtola's wand! Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to think of, like, you know, a decade ago, my thought process, but I was like, definitely they collapsed that wall to kill the bad people, right? But then I thought, well, maybe they, like, barricaded themselves in. Because, like they said, they had a hard time, like, digging out that rubble. I had assumed as much. If I may, Marshal. It's like I need to put on my nerd goggles. Did he take off his other goggles, or did he just put goggles on top of goggles there? 'Tis as I did surmise, judging by the etheric imprint that lingereth yet upon this wand, it hath assuredly been employed in casting of a most uncommon magic. Can you imagine the sewer hermit camp they would have made? Like, it would have been hilarious as shit if we found out that, like, this entire time the Scions have been, like, camping underground in Ul'dah. But, Ariane, I need to tell you about a thing called Microsoft Word. We can't give him that power. Can you imagine this man with an Excel sheet? God, he'd be giving out Excel sheets to everybody about shit. I'm still wondering, he took off those other goggles, right? He's not just wearing goggles on top of goggles. Namely, the very first that man did conceive to traverse great distances, and the ancient precursor to all methods of travel that utilize the life stream, flow. The spell entaileth the reduction of the corporeal form into its constituent ether, that the caster might enter the life stream and ride its currents thereby. Unlike the teleportation magics of modern times, it requireth not a lengthy incantation. That Y'shtola should choose to employ such a spell bespeaketh the need for haste. All of which would suggest she managed to escape. Would that it were so simple. Know that the scholars of Charlene forbade the use of this spell, and with good reason. It could vaporize you. The caster hath but limited control over his course. For every mage who came safe onto his destination, another would be set adrift in the life stream, never to emerge. What? No, you can't mean... What if we gave him PowerPoint? Don't give him PowerPoint either. Be not downcast, my friends, for there is yet hope. 'Tis like that Y'shtola's passage hath left traces in the life stream. Could we but follow these from the point at which the magic was invoked, we may yet find her. To the Sildian excavation site, then. Our thanks for your aid, Marshal. I mean, yeah, it's, to explain in more layman's terms, this flow spell was what they were trying to use in the past before they figured out teleportation. But, I imagine it kind of like the Harry Potter flu powder thing, where if you, fuck up, you're gonna fuck up real hard. Do not mention it. I shall pray for Lady Y'shtola's safe return. I'm not sure if we'll make it to Y'shtola Blunt, but if it happens in the next 30 minutes, which I can't really remember. Around this part in Heavensward, a lot of things get squished together for me, because I think when I first played Heavensward, there was like a long marathon I did, I think, around the vault. Let's see, we gotta go to Central Down, right? Yeah. Around the vault, I think I did like a mad dash to like that, to Bismarck, to this part. Like, I think I did it within the course of a day. So it kind of all happened. I did one of those things, I believe, where I just spent all day in my basement chewing on chips and whatnot, because I was invested. If our friends weren't in the tunnel, that must mean they're somewhere else. Sorry, that... I know, it just sounds stupid out of context, like, yeah. Yeah, Tatar. Simply being here calls to mind the events of that fateful day, and he's like, I really don't like being me. They're so small. Am I as tall as Varianche? I think he might be a tiny bit taller than me, I don't know. What's up? What's up, Varianche? We're stuck. He's like, you are very close, Warrior of Light. Do you mind taking a step back, please, for some personal space? Evidence of Y'shtola's passage will have been made faint by time, but may have some few scant traces yet remain to guide our steps. Yorva finally backed off. It's like, I'm gonna stop being passive-aggressive here. Okay, please tell me that's him removing his goggles and then putting a new pair of goggles over those goggles. I think he just put the goggles over the goggles, guys. He's like a hound. He's got the scent, guys. Go, Urianger. He had to put the goggles over the goggles, guys. There's no way to explain that scene. His goggles are on underneath those goggles. The trail leadeth to the north and east. onto the bosom of the 12 wood. Do you gotta keep mentioning bosoms? Are you certain? Aye, there is no mistake. Thither hath Y'shtola journeyed. He can't let us see the goggles over the goggles. And yet the Gridanians have reported no sightings. It's almost like she's not corporeal. We must take this to mean she is still adrift. If it be so, I do fear for our friend. Contrary to its name, the life stream is more akin to a raging torrent, lingering over long in the midst of this maelstrom, and the ether that formeth one's soul shall surely be scattered, ne'er to be reformed. Yeah, so your soul can just get broken apart if you're in the life stream. And we had to have been gone for a few weeks since that, so, you know. We have no time to waste. Urianger, pray explore all possible options for reversing the effects of this forbidden magic. Yorva, Tataru, we three shall press on into Gridania and petition the Elder Seedseer's aid. We could just ask the elementals, but... Are they vibrating, like, less particularly angry than usual? You know, I wonder if those goggles Urianger have, like, or he has, are prescription. So, like, he can't see. He can only take off those goggles when, he gets, oh, what do you call it? It's those little things you put in your eyeballs. My brain keeps coming up with a word, but it keeps saying tesseracts. You don't put tesseracts on your eyes. It is said that the elementals perceive the life stream. Yeah. So I'm like, are they vibrating a little less angry? If, as we suspect, Y'shtola is still adrift in this mist, they may be able to find her. But if we are to appeal to them for assistance, we must needs do so through their chosen, the Pagel. It is imperative, therefore, that we speak with Kane Senna without delay. I like to imagine, like, maybe only, like, 2 or 3 days have passed since the Moogle incident. She's like, oh, you're already back. And she's like, we got something to tell you. I have already requested an audience with the Elder Seedseer. She will receive us under the Lotus Dam presently, but we need but speak with the conjurer yonder to be admitted. Yeah, I've spoken with this guy many times. The only explanation Urianger has for putting goggles over goggles is that he can't see without the goggles. It's like, I can't see without my glasses. And I still can't remember what's that other thing that's not glasses that you use. Be welcome, my friends, and speak freely. I gather your suit will admit no delay. I will not, my lady. Pray forgive the abrupt nature of our request, but it is a matter of life and death. This is not about Moogles this time, I'm very sorry. I see, as you say, we must needs act swiftly if we are to free Y'shtola from the ungentle pull of the life stream. And as you have surmised, we cannot do this unaided. We need the angry, vibrating balls in our vicinity.
In requesting the Elemental's assistance to find Y'shtola, you must needs be aware of one difficulty. A difficulty born of the fundamental difference between man and elemental.
That being...
They vibrate angrily, Alfino.
In perceiving the world around him, man relies upon senses such as sight and sound. For the sake of convenience, he gives names to such things as are near or dear to him. Being formed of pure ether, however, such concepts are foreign to the elementals. Instead, they perceive by observing the ebb and flow of the energies of life. So profound a division cannot be bridged with simple discourse. The elementals' voices stir not the air, and thus reach not our ears, while our words are but wind to them. Though we seers can commune with them through feelings, naught that we can impart will serve to aid them in identifying Y'shtola. Nay, they must needs be presented with ether which is akin to hers. If you could but find a family member.
Oh! I know just the person! Y'shtola has a sister who came to live in Gridania. She told me about her once.
Oh, that is most fortunate indeed. Pray, seek this sister out then, and bring her to Evershade. There, we shall petition the Great One's aid in finding your lost companion.
Good thing Y'shtola has 11 half-sisters. Which I did not realize until Dawn Trail. I thought she just had the one sister. I didn't realize she had 10 more after that. If memory serves, Y'shtola's sister is named Ymitra. If you've done the Summoner questline, which I think I have, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Oh, you do know her, do you? Well, then that ought to make things easier. I have done the Summoner questline in this one. Anyway, she spends most of her time around Upkalu Falls, and from what I recall, let's look for her there. Yorva's like, yes, I'm very familiar with that. Yeah, prior to this, I was messing around with some classes, so, other than Bard, and I have been working on Monk, because Monk and Samurai will share gear. I've done the Summoner questline, and Scholar, so I can technically do a healing class. Yeah, I never thought there were 12 of them. They all come from different mothers, I believe. So they have different mothers, but they have the same father. Being from the Y tribe. In fact, I now have to suspect that any Makote that we come across that has a Y in front of their name has to be related to Y'shtola somehow. But yeah, the sisters all share the same father. I can't remember if you could find this piece of information out in A Realm Reborn. I know it was information before Heavensward. You could potentially find this out before this scene. Greetings, Yorva. What brings you here today? Are you getting more summoner practice? Why are you wielding a katana? And Yorva's like, it's a long story. I'm sorry, Ymitra. I'm putting down the book for now. I'll come back to it later. I see that you have companions. Lady Ymitra, it is an honor to meet you. My name is Alfino Levier, and this is Tataru Taru. She's a full-blood sibling? I thought they were all half-siblings. So you are my sister's comrades in the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. When I heard that your people were being pursued, I desperately sought to reach Stola, but all mine efforts were of no avail. Now I know why. A forbidden spell of all things. She should be so reckless. But what is done is done. I thank you for bringing word to me. Needless to say, I should be glad to help. Though we were born of different mothers, yeah, they only share the same father. Our veins course with the same father's blood. I hope that this will be enough for the elementals. Come, let us make for Evershade at once. The internet? Who would do that? Go on the internet and tell lies? No, I think even with that last cutscene I had with another one, I think it was confirmed. We just met in Dawn Trail, another one of Y'shtola's sisters. I think she mentioned that they all come from different mothers, so I think it's confirmed that every single one of them has a different mother but the same father.
Let us begin. Raya O, Arun, if you would.
Also, if you've done the White Mage quests, those characters are involved, but I did not do White Mage quests with this character, so...
Hearken to me, O great ones. Pray give yourselves to the life stream, a drifting soul to find.
Please, Y'shtola. Please come back to us.
It's time for a magical girl transformation.
There. Now!
If you look really close, you'll see that she still has a bra on in that scene. They're not allowed to make completely naked characters in this game.
A room has been readied at the roost. Pray, bear her thither at once.
The famous Y'shtola Blunt.
All that remains is to pray, my...
I mean, looked like she was breathing, so I have high hopes. Yamitra and Yamalibo are twins. These are retcons? I don't quite understand. Oh, Y'shtola. Is this still like one of those weirdness like where they had Livia be 8 years old and because they forgot about their own lore? Just seeing her face again, it's... Oh, I've been so worried. Oi. It's okay, Tataru. We know you're a girl's girl, so... Y'shtola is resting within an inn room. Though she is still unconscious, the signs are positive. She is breathing, like you said. The conjurers say she's in sound health and should awaken before long. Isn't that wonderful? Now, while we wait for Y'shtola to wake up, I thought I'd take the opportunity to finish my little surprise for you. The Endwalker short stories, 12 Sister... Oh, I do remember that short story, actually. I read that one, because I remember they showed up for their father's funeral. I didn't know they retconned it all. I don't know, I think that's kind of them not following what they wrote down, because I thought Encyclopedia Eorzea was also there, too. So... I don't know, I'd still take the short stories with a grain of salt too, because if it doesn't say so in Encyclopedia Eorzea, it's now contesting against 2 pieces of info. It's something I've been working on for a while now, in hopes that she'd one day return to us. It wants for just a couple more items before it's ready. I've already placed orders for these items. Could I ask you to It's like, we can't go see Y'shtola, we have to go run errands for Tataru. Could I ask you to retrieve them for me? One is with the Leatherworkers Guild, and another is with the Conjurers Guild. Speak with Mistress Jiva and Brother Isumiyan, and they ought to take care of you. Great. Actually, should I just go to... I'll just stay here for a minute. Well, we managed to make it to Y'shtola Blunt. I think we can do this one last little errand for Tataru and then move along. What is it? I'm a busy woman, so be quick about it. I forgot how Jiva is so fucking rude. If you wish to place an order, speak with Randall. Huh? Here to retrieve an order? For Mistress Tataru, you say? You come at a good time. I finished it but moments ago. It was no small coup working it to her specifications, but I did it nonetheless. Payment has already been settled. However, did that girl come by chimerical hide anyway? You need either balls of steel or a bottomless coin purse, and it seems to me she has neither. Yorva's like, she's got many a suitor in Ishgard, that's why. They love her, she knows how to party so hard. Yeah, I want to finish up by, you know, being able to talk to Y'shtola. I do love Y'shtola so much, like... She's not exactly one of the funniest characters in the group. She's kind of the, you know, the straight man of the group. But I actually love that about her. Like, the most sensible scion in the group. So that being said, she has definitely a few silly moments, but not nearly as much as some of the other characters. You are come to Stillglade Fane and home of the Conjurers Guild. How may I assist you? Ah, yes, Mr. Tataru's order. As requested, it has been sanctified in the sight of the elementals. I know not what she intends for the staff, but it is It is a most singular artifact. Even one possessed of my experience would struggle to wield it. That's saying a lot, seeing that Isumiyan is like 1,000 years old. Is he? I remember him being ridiculous. Like, is it 2,000 years old that he is? And Isumi, he honestly should have been the leader of Gridania, but he just kind of he was like, I don't wanna. I mean, honestly, the smartest characters in the universe are looking at all the responsibility that comes with leadership and going, yeah, I don't wanna. They're the smartest cookies. Ah, you're back. You have the items, I hope. Yeah? I mean, kinda... Don't ever make me talk to Jiva on purpose. I don't want to do it. She's so shit. Ooh, it's as precisely as I requested. A perfect match for the other pieces. Truly, Jiva is a master among masters. And the staff completes the surprise. Thank you so much, Yorva. Teehee, I can't wait to see what Y'shtola thinks of this prize. Lest you wonder, she's doing very well, and the conjurers have left her in her sister's care. Let's go and pay them a visit, shall we?
Y'shtola! I'm so glad you're back!
Tataru. You are safe. Thank the 12. Something has changed about you, Alphino. Or mayhap the change is with me. I seem to sense the ether around me more keenly than before.
She's become a vibrating elemental.
Well again. Do you feel strong enough to talk?
Worry not. I am well enough.
She's like, I can't say anything because I don't have a voice actress.
Tell us then, what befell you after you fled the feast? We were told that there had been a tunnel collapse.
That was my doing. I brought the tunnel down that you and Minfidia might escape. At the last moment, I invoked a teleportation magic, in hopes of spiriting Thancred away at least. Needless to say, it did not go quite as planned, and I found myself adrift in the life stream. The others? Where are they? Did they not escape?
They remain unaccounted for. You were the only one we have been able to find. I am truly sorry. It was the Crystal Braves who pursued you that day. My hubris that led to our undoing.
No apologies are necessary, Alphino. You are not to blame for what occurred. Know that were our comrades here, they would commend you for keeping the light of hope alive.
Don't worry. The others are alive and well, I'm sure of it. We just need to find them.
Indeed, Tataru. Let us find our friends and rebuild the Scions.
Ha! There is the Alphino I remember. And I feel much the better for his return. 'Tis time I arose.
She's like, I'm sure 5 hours of bed rest is all I need.
That reminds me. I have a change of clothes for you. I don't like to boast, but I made them myself. I learned how to weave while we were in Ishgard, you see.
But to be fair, she did ask Jiva to do the leather working parts. We cannot watch her dress. That is inappropriate, Alfio. Yeah, you know, you just told her probably got 5 hours of sleep, and she's just like, I'm good. And now she's gonna go trek the universe with us. Now she has an outfit change. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite outfits. I do like her Shadowbreaker's outfit a lot, but this one's good.
Apprised me of all that took place in the aftermath of the assassination plot. It would seem I have been away for some while.
Did you fight a flying whale?
Much and more happened during your absence. At present, we seek to follow the Archbishop to Azisla.
And you want for some manner of etheric ram to pierce the floating isle's protective barrier?
We do. Might you be able to furnish us with one?
I just have one in my pocket, thank you, like...
A means to prise open a hole in an Allagan barrier. And one large enough to admit an airship, no less. Nay, I lack the knowledge to devise such a weapon. But I know of one who could. A leading figure in the field of etheric research, and one of the finest scholars ever to grace Sharlayan. Matoya, my former master.
All the way from Final Fantasy I. Matoya's a real bitch, though. Like, the realist. Alright, that's a good place to leave it off. On next episode, we're gonna go search for the Matoya. Oh, actually, Musosai's still here. We could probably do those quests. He just sat here watching me. He's like, what's going on in your life, Yorva? Yorva's like, it's a very long story, Musosai. I'll catch you up in a bit, I promise. How about, I'll take a break here. We'll do more Samurai Quest in the next episode, and then we'll go see Matoya. And then we're gonna go hunt down some more Scions, because holy shit, we still don't have enough. But, the whole time Musosai's he watched them carry in the Y'shtola blunt, and he was like, what the heck is that about? And then he watched as his student comes in right behind, and he's like, please tell me Yorva's not involved with that Y'shtola blunt. And it's like, of course I am, Musosai. He's just like, maybe I shouldn't really inquire that hard. Alright, it is almost exactly 9 o'clock, so this is just... the runtime on this is so perfect. So everybody, have a good night, and I will see you on Thursday.